phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
Every year, NFL fans look forward to the NFL Draft. And with the 2023 NFL Draft being a few months away, we are currently in Senior Bowl season. There's already been a couple that have been played, and as of the recording of this video, the Shrine Bowl and the Reese's Senior Bowl have yet to be played, and those are two big-time Senior Bowl games where college football players get a chance to showcase their abilities in front of NFL scouts. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some underrated players in the 2023 NFL Draft. Before I move on, remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's get into it. For the first player that I'm going to be talking about in today's video, it is Tulane running back Tajay Spears. Spears, in his career at Tulane, rushed for 2,910 yards, averaging nearly 7 yards a carry and 31 total career rushing touchdowns, and is coming off his strongest season in his football career, in which in 14 games played, he rushed for 1,581 yards, averaging 7 yards a carry, and had a total of 21 touchdowns all-purpose, 19 rushing, and 2 receiving. Out of all the players in this entire draft class, even at the running back position, Tajay Spears is one of my favorite prospects, and he's graded around a mid-round selection for the 2023 draft as of right now, and I believe he deserves more respect on his name. I believe he was a top 10 running back in college football this past season, and he's someone that I'm sold on. I even saw him live in person for the Cotton Bowl when Tulane played USC and won that game in an upsetting fashion. Now let's talk about some reasons why Tajay is a good back. He has some very good vision. He's very competitive with his running style. He's someone that's not afraid to go down with some contact and isn't afraid to lay down the lumber. But he's also very speedy and shifty, and it makes him very hard to bring down. He's not the biggest running back in this class as of size. He stands in at about 5'10", 190 pounds, and does have kind of a narrow build. However, I do believe he's someone that has a very good upside for the NFL. Everyone knows if you're a running back in the NFL, you don't have to be a first-round pick to be a guaranteed star. You can even be undrafted and have a really good career as a running back, as the running back position is quite deep, and if you have a good O-line ultimately and you know how to make plays, you're going to be someone that eats up a lot of the time on the field. And I believe Tajay Spears is someone that could have a very good career in the NFL, especially as a very fast and elusive speed back. The next player that I'm going to be talking about is Oklahoma wide receiver Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims, in his career as a Sooner, recorded 123 receptions for 2,398 yards, averaging nearly 20 yards a reception and 20 total touchdowns through the air. And he's coming off his best season of his college football career in 2022, in which in 13 games played for Oklahoma, he had 1,083 receiving yards, averaging 20 yards a reception and 6 touchdowns through the air. His entire time in Oklahoma, he was a big play threat, as he was someone that was constantly a deep ball guy, very fast, and could make contested catches any game of the week. Mims is projected anywhere from the 2nd to 4th rounds of the 2023 NFL Draft. And when talking about some big pros of his game, some of the things that people really like about his game is that he's a very fast, elusive, speedy receiver. He's a proven deep threat target. He's consistent at catching the ball, and he can make contested catches down the field, pretty much at a consistent and proven level. I believe Marvin Mims can be a good NFL receiver down the line, and I believe he's someone that can be a huge threat for any team in the right offensive system. I don't necessarily believe he's a receiver 1 in the NFL. However, I believe he can be a big-time threat as a receiver 2 or receiver 3 because of his deep threat capabilities and, of course, his proven speed. Looking at another receiver in the 2023 draft class, I have Boston College receiver Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers, in his career at Boston College, amassed over 3,000 career receiving yards and 29 receiving touchdowns. He's coming off his biggest season in his college football career from 2022, in which he recorded 1,077 receiving yards, averaging 14 yards a reception and 12 receiving touchdowns. He is currently projected to be a 2nd to 3rd round selection in this year's NFL Draft, and people really do love Zay Flowers as a prospect who has a very high upside. He's not the biggest receiver in the class, standing in at 5'10", about 170 pounds. However, he is quite electric. He has a good receiving tree. He's very dynamic after he catches the ball on the run. He's very electric when he has space. He makes a lot of people miss, and with his speed and shiftiness, he has a lot of good yardage after catch. When I see Zay Flowers, I think of a receiver down the road in the NFL that can develop into that speedy slot type of role for your NFL team. He could be a receiver 2, and he could be someone that could potentially down the road be a receiver 1 in the correct system. Switching things over to the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to be taking a look at Mizzou defensive lineman Isaiah McGuire. In his career as a Tiger, McGuire amassed 117 total tackles, 32 tackles for loss, 17.5 sacks, and 4 forced fumbles in his time at Mizzou. In the 2022 college football season, Isaiah McGuire had 40 total tackles, 25 being solo, 14 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. As a prospect, Isaiah McGuire shapes to be someone that will be drafted around the mid-rounds of the 2023 NFL Draft, but most projections have him going in the 3rd round. I like Isaiah McGuire as a prospect, as he had a lot of high-level productivity playing SEC football in the 2021 and 2022 college football seasons as a starting defensive lineman at Mizzou. He has some good size, standing in at 6'4", around 275 pounds. That's pretty good, especially for someone that can come off the edge. You could put him inside on some techniques. You can have him outside, which he played a lot at Mizzou. I really just overall like him as a prospect because of what he has with physical traits. He's good as a run defense defender, and he plays with a good motor and playing demeanor. For the final player that I'm going to be talking about in today's video, it is Oklahoma State safety Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor is coming off a strong 2022 campaign where he was a Thorpe finalist, had 99 total tackles, 80 of them being solo, 7 pass deflections, and 6 total interceptions. In a lot of draft projections right now for Taylor, he seems to be a mid to late round pick for the 2023 NFL Draft. Now, as a prospect, Jason Taylor is someone that was proven as a ball hawk in the secondary at Oklahoma State, having a total of 8 interceptions as a 2-year starter on that Cowboys defense. He also has a knack for laying some big hits, exploding through running lanes, and making some good open field tackles. He's more than likely going to be a late round pick in the draft, and I believe he could be a steal for any team that he's drafted to or potentially signed to. Well guys, if you made it this far in today's video, drop something down in the comment section below. Who do you think is an underrated NFL draft prospect for this year's NFL Draft? And before you head out, remember to smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, and subscribe if you haven't already. B. Kelly out.